the or inside the Department for Education.
It's interesting that you've written a supportive leader, because immediately from the front page you wouldn't know that you were supportive of it.
Yeah, what we like to do is provoke people to think and make up their own minds, which is the clever thing. The independent.
So have an independent mind.
Isn't that funny? The clues in the name. The clues in the
Really
name.
clever. Never realised that before. But
yeah, and they're saying that they're worried that the new setup, people who are not pro this, are saying they're worried the new setup will divert cash from classrooms, limit the availability of what they call expensive subjects like music and science, and end the public service vocation of teachers. And the NUT, National Union of Teachers, says it's a scandal waiting to happen, and they want an urgent statement to Parliament.
Yeah,
about
they're
where
not.
This is all
They're not
going.
the biggest fans of the education sector.
No.
according to our people in our parliamentary unit, they've got a statement from a source close to Michael Gove. We've made clear we won't introduce for-profit schools, and all senior people in the department know this story is absurd.
Fantastic. Pleased to hear it. That's a sign of success.
Quite dismissive in one sentence.
Stand by every word. No, we'll obviously speak to them tomorrow and get a sense of what they're
Shouldn't you have spoken to them today?
We've spoken to them today. Obviously, we've spoken to them today. It's on the front page of The Independent, and that's a fantastically well-sourced
So it's nicely balanced.
Very nicely
We like
balanced.
that.
And balanced with our leader too.
Good. The Guardian.
Yeah.
Tahrir Square, the picture. Flags are out because a lot of people think that this is, President Morsi's, maybe his time is limited, because we've got the army saying we've got 48 hours to sort out this political mess or we're going to step in.
Yeah, I mean, Morsi is, just to remind everyone, after the Arab Spring, when Hosni Mubarak was gotten rid of, Morsi was this democratically elected leader. Everyone got their hopes up massively that we were going to finally see a spot of democracy in Egypt, which would be a very welcome thing, but it's not worked out. And inflation is rampant. There are huge electricity shortages. Tourism has dropped. The economy is stumbling, and people don't feel safe. And when people don't feel safe and they don't have jobs, and they can't feed themselves and their families, they hit the streets, and it's completely understandable. And so Morsi and the Muslim Brotherhood, who are a very effective opposition force, haven't turned out to be a very effective governmental force.
You see, it's funny, isn't it, how we in the West, as soon as you read something like the head of Egypt's armed forces, because this is what threatened direct military involvement in the political process, immediately I start thinking, oh no, this is awful military coup. But actually that isn't quite how it works in places like Egypt. Actually, that's kind of, he's essentially saying, look, we're here to kind of, calm everything down. And in fact, on the president's official Facebook page, he actually said that he met the, now what do they call him, the General Abdel Fattah al-Sisi, along with the Prime Minister late yesterday. And in fact, they still have the support, Morsi still has the support of the US. So we shall see what we shall see. I just think it's very sad because, of course, that Arab Spring was also exciting and thrilling when it was all happening, and nothing really seems to have worked.
Yeah, it may turn out to have been a false dawn.
Let's look at the Telegraph. Scandal of doctors paid more to do less. This is Labour being blamed for a nonsensical contract which gave senior medics time off and a 28% pay rise.
Yeah, I mean, one of the reasons this has got such relevance, and the Telegraph are smart to put it on the front page, is that the NHS spending is, of course, ring-fenced. So we had the spending review last week, and the NHS is seen by its enemies to be a fantastically wasteful organisation whose budget is ring-fenced because of a political decision that the Tory party made to appear to be on the side of the NHS. But this is, as you say, Martine, this is about a sort of policy enacted by Labour some time ago, and this very influential committee called the Public Accounts Committee is saying that it's been humongously wasteful.
But often they introduce policies which look like a good idea, and it's only after a while, isn't it, that you realise quite what the ramifications are.
They've been described as naive. I think that's what has been said about this. In fact, the word is absurdly naive is the actual quote. This was about, in fact, if you kind of remember back to what happened, and it was all about working out of hours and at weekends specifically. And of course, what's happened is that that is why A&E is now so crowded, because of the fact that the people are treating A&E essentially as being as a drop-in doctor's surgery. The British Medical Association, which represents doctors, has accused the committee of using barbed rhetoric.
Oof.
Yes, look at them go with their scalpels.
Speaking of barbed rhetoric, apparently, for a marriage that endures, one should bite one's tongue.
Do you know what? I read this and I thought, yes, of course, anybody sensible, if somebody says to you, your partner says to you, can you just stop putting the socks right by the laundry bin? They go in the laundry bin. The way to escalate that argument is to say, yes, but you always do that. And then they say, yes, but you do that. And then you never do that. And then anything else. And before you know it...
The always and the nevers.
Yeah. So just before we came on air, I confessed to Penny that I'm getting married in a few months.
It's not a confession.
It was a huge confession, which I'm now making in a very public domain. And she tried to explain this whole sock laundry thing to me. It totally lost me. I've got no idea. So the basic idea is that sort of you've always got to compromise. You've always got to say that the other person's right.
Or just move away from it. Instead of sort of starting off with the, you know, why do you never put things away? Why do you never do this?
That's what you just did. That's what you just did.
Yes, but what I'm saying is, so instead,
don't do it.
So I'm saying instead of actually then responding by saying, yeah, but you never do that, then say, do you know what?
Just let it go.
Yeah, just say, I'm going to go make dinner now. What should we have tonight? And then just move the subject away.
Yeah, I remember interviewing for a local newspaper many years ago. A couple have been married for 60 years. This is helpful to you. And you say, what's the secret? And they say, give and take.
It's always give and take. Never go to bed in an argument.
Yeah, that's what they always say.
They do.
They always say the same. They must be right. The Daily Express, just quickly. Free banking to be scrapped. Meddling. Have I gone to the wrong paper? Am I confusing everybody in the gallery?
Hold on a second.
No, according to my running order, it's the Daily Express next.
Yeah, it just says free banking.
Anyway, I can hold it up to the camera if I absolutely have to, like the old days.
It's only saying free banking's going.
Here we go. They've got it sorted.
And it's all the
coming
EU.
Right now, there it is. Look at that. Like magic.
All the
free
EU
banking to be scrapped. Yeah, meddling EU. Yeah. Plan will send charges soaring. I mean, is that a lot of money to pay £25 for the benefit of a credit card?
£11 a year for a debit card. Oh, I don't know. It just goes on and on.
You pay for what you use then, rather than having people who maybe paying charges at the moment, subsidising those who don't pay.
But they're talking about they're not just saying all about that. They're also talking about hole in the wall. And do you remember last time they tried to bring charges for hole in the wall, and everybody went no,
yeah,
exactly.
No.
And the people there's almost certain to be someone who offers it for free, and those people would be where everyone heads up to. You know.
Good.
And the problem with that is as well, if you want to take £10 out of the cash point, you haven't got a lot of money, and £10 is what you really want. You have to pay a large amount for it. That sort of penalises people with less money, doesn't it?
Yes.
The best thing about this story, by the way, is that the chief executive of the Advanced Payment Solution is quoted, and his name is Richard Wagner. Which seems to me like a total...
Yes, exactly. We tried to organise a sort of theme tune, Ride of the Valkyries, to go with that story, but we failed. Anyway, that's the papers. Thank you very much to Penny and to Amal. Thank you.
Pleasure.
I hope you've enjoyed it. I hope you'll come back again.
Thanks very much indeed.
After you well. Thank you for helping with that, Penny.
Yeah, excellent chocolate.
Once I'm divorced.
Well, I hope not. She's got her hands full. We'll do that all again tomorrow night. Well, somebody will. It won't be me, but we do the papers every night, 10:30, 11:30 here on BBC News. Now it's time for Sports Day.